get into this clip where she talks about specifically Trump and how it seems like our freedom of speech is being attacked. Hmm. Wonder where I've heard that before. But please hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and let's get right on into it, you guys. So in this clip, Candace is basically talking about how she's upset that Trump is not defending freedom of speech and basically standing up for her. She feels betrayed. Let's go ahead and get into this.
I guess there already is, by the way, a photo. Oh wait, no, there isn't a photo of Ghislaine Maxwell at the new prison, but we'll keep you posted on that story. Want to tell you guys, going back into Macron land, it's just been crazy to see people. I feel that have been so disingenuous covering the story. I don't know how you can cover this story without watching the series. I don't know how it works. You could read through a legal lawsuit and develop a legal assessment.
So I'm gonna watch her series and put money into her pocket. No, no, thank you. I mean, we kind of know, like, basically, you've been going around saying the woman's a man. Like, that's it. You've been saying she's a man. I don't know how much further we need a deep dive into it, which it's not proven that Brigitte Macron is a man. Like, she's a woman, you guys. And the thing is, I don't know why Candace is so like gun ho, not gun ho, but so adamant about saying like, yeah, she's a man. When Brigitte doesn't look like a man to me, like she looks woman, she looked like she got an Uzi. I can't say put a P in front of the Uzi and you get what I'm saying, right? She like I would understand like she had a strong face, but Brigitte Macron don't have a strong face to me. She looks like a 70-something-year-old woman.
Without having watched the series. Anyways, it's going to get fun no matter what, obviously. Everyone's paying attention. And the reason why everyone's paying attention to this, and I'm grateful to see so many of you guys are like fighting in the comment sections, because we now recognize this story is about something so much bigger, right? So much bigger. We know what is happening in this world, okay? That we have these perverts that not just have power, but they all cover each other. Like I was on Alex Jones this morning and I was just venting my frustration. The more that I think about it, the more absurd it is. Now, the Trump administration, who purports to care about free speech, that was what they ran on. Of course, they're not doing any of that stuff anymore. They're creating DEI for Israel and pushing through laws to redefine anti-Semitism. But they pretended to care about free speech. And you had JD Vance, who went over there to Europe and gave a whole speech, tisk tisk, to all of you European leaders that are no longer listening to what your constituents want and are instead punishing them for their speech. If the majority of your constituents think something, you can't create laws and punish them. Like, right? That was kind of the gist of his speech. Like, the markets have decided what they want, and now you're punishing these people.
So this is something that they've been doing. This isn't nothing new. And let's be honest, any administration that gets in power, there's a big talk about you can't say anything about Israel. Why did she think that it would be different? And especially when Trump has gotten so much money from different investors who are pro-Israel. Like, come on now. And granted, all this stuff going on at the colleges is because people are speaking out against Israel, and he doesn't want that. They want to shut all that down. So this has been going on forever. Like, this isn't a new thing. But Candace, now that she's on this anti-Israel movement, now she wants to, I can't believe, like, this doesn't seem right. No, it's been going on.
That's crazy, he said. America's going to be a leader. We don't believe in this. We won't support this. Then you have a literal European leader that is basically saying F you to the American Constitution, right? Emmanuel Macron and Brigitte are saying, you know what? We don't like that podcaster in America. And we are going to launch a lawsuit that's never been launched before, an unprecedented lawsuit to impoverish her for speaking. And both JD Vance and Trump have not issued a statement. In fact, where are the journalists even asking them to make a statement? Okay, a state leader is speaking about your constituent and launching a lawsuit and saying you're going to impoverish them for executing the First Amendment right. Where are you?
But what loyalty does Trump or JD Vance have to you? Like, they didn't even give you a job in the administration. Like, why did you think you would have so much power and influence to where, oh yeah, they're gonna come out and speak for you? The job's already done. He's in office. That, that little documentary that she did on how Kamala Harris wasn't black and all this other stuff. You did your job. There's nothing more for them to need you for. You were out there. Listen, Candace started out this whole run of the lady who's able to say all the stuff about black people that white people wanted to say, but was either too afraid or didn't want to be called racist. So they had Candace saying everything. Just how she talked about Ahmaud Arbery, George Floyd, any black person who died at the hands of the cops, she talked about, and she talked about how they deserved it and they should have been practically, they should have paid attention, they should have listened, and they wouldn't be in these predicaments. And even past the notion that black people are inherently criminals and all this other shit. So everything that you're getting back now, you deserve it because you got played. And I don't think necessarily you think that you got played. I think more or less your pockets would be in a line. And now that the money probably is falling a little short, now you want to speak out and say something.
You are Trump. The first thing you should have done, if you purport to care about America and our Constitution, as you're supposed to be the person that's defending that day in and day out, you would come out and you would say, I don't even know whether I believe that she's a man or woman. Doesn't matter, right? I didn't watch the series. Fair. He didn't watch the series. He could even say, like he said to me on the phone, that I looked at her real close on the Eiffel Tower and it looked like a woman to me. Okay, you can say all those things, but you should say it's unacceptable. I'm a leader of this country. It is unacceptable that this leader would threaten the First Amendment in any way. We don't need Pam Bondi rushing to issue a statement about a college male that's been shoved by a student for wearing an IDF shirt, okay? We don't need the federal government getting involved on something so meaningless. But we might need our federal government when it comes to this, okay? The job of the federal government is to defend us against foreign invaders. And I would pretty much say Emmanuel Macron right now is being a foreign invader. But no, they're...
So they came out and defended the guy who got shoved for wearing an IDF shirt. But also, they should have came out and defended you because of this lawsuit of you basically propping up misinformation for profit. And they're supposed to come out and defend you because, oh, freedom of speech. You lost your goddamn... Listen, you already know Israel up here, Candace Owens down here. Like, why are we playing these games? Come on, Candace. Come on, Candy Girl. You already know how it is.
Silent. They are silent. And that's a pretty loud silence right now. Because if I remove myself out of the situation, it is crazy that Trump has been silent on this matter, especially after Emmanuel Macron flew and tried to get Trump to shut me up. He knows what Emmanuel Macron is doing and how desperate he is to do it. So why is he allowing this attack on our speech? It's crazy. Anyways, Piers Morgan, who owed me almost $150,000 US dollars after making the first bet regarding the defamation claim, is basically coming at me like triple or nothing. Incredible precedent of penalizing Americans for speech against foreign leaders, which maybe they are actually at that moment. Because like I discussed with Alex Jones this morning, we are seeing never before, and like never before, an incursion on our speech. Alex Jones was showing clips of leaders of Facebook, Zionist leaders of Facebook. He even showed a clip, which I've never seen before, which I probably should have pulled before the show, of Sacha Baron Cohen standing up and speaking about how we need to arrest people. We have to start arresting people that are anti-Israel. And I want to be clear, guys. I would not take these things to be idle threats anymore, okay? We've got, for whatever reason, when it comes to speech, we can only have Zionists in power when it comes to social media, right? So he showed a clip of the person that's leading up the hate speech department at Facebook. We've shown you before the people that are leading up the hate speech laws over at TikTok. For whatever reason, the people that are in charge of speech always have to be Zionists. And when we hear them speak, there is always being floated this idea that we need to start arresting people, right? Even David Friedman.
So, the thing about Candace is that I don't think that she's dumb. I don't. She's very calculated, but she is not dumb. And so Candace realizes and sees things, right? But she doesn't want to call it for what it is because of if she comes out and she starts talking about, you know, and I'm trying to be careful with my words because again, I'm trying not to get my video struck in because you can't be critical of Israel or they'll get you, right? But I think there's a clear distinction on talking about the government of Israel versus talking about Judaism, the religion. And I think that if you say anything about Israel, they think that you're being anti-Semitic, and they run with that narrative. And it's all like, no, 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 that's not what I'm doing. But yet, it seems that the anti-cancel culture, it's only anti-cancel culture, like people of color, blah 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 blah. But then when it comes to anything with Israel, oh, we got to cancel you. Just like remember Kanye, and mind you, I don't agree with the stuff that Kanye was saying, but they closed his bank accounts. He had to move his money. Like they shut him completely down to the point where he wasn't even a billionaire anymore. That's how powerful they are. But Kanye can say stuff about black people, slavery was a choice or whatnot, whatever he said, nothing happened to him. So it amazes me how it's a certain section or a certain country that gets a free pass, and then everybody else is all like, F you, we don't care about your feelings, whatever. And let's be honest, Candace has played into this because of the things that she has said about black people. And she has never given an apology at all or said, maybe I was used. Because again, at the Daily Wire, it was fine when she was criticizing black people or leftists or whatnot. But when she started criticizing Israel, they got her up out of there. And she still has not called out that hypocrisy directly.
And when you're speaking about me and Tucker, they're like dangling this of like, if it gets too crazy, we're going to have to start arresting people. And that might have seemed like such a far out idea to us where we didn't even care if someone said that was going to be the inevitability a few years ago. But given everything that's taken place this year, we better take those charges to be deadly serious, those threats to be deadly serious. Because if these same people are putting in place these policies because we are noticing a genocide, right? And they're allowed to do this. And now they've infiltrated the Trump campaign. Essentially, it's now being run by the ADL. That means that we are inching ever closer to that reality. I'm not kidding. I am saying that we at this moment need to get radical when it comes to speech. Radical when it comes to speech, because it will just go away, you guys, in a moment's notice. And the fact that so many people are still getting up there and lying to us willfully about what is happening in Gaza. The fact, as Alex Jones showed me, that there was a clip of Mike Huckabee in this moment from like last week saying that Israel is like the most moral army in the world. Like, that's insane. That is totally insane.
Wow.
Outside of you being unbelievably ignorant about what's happening there, which I won't accept that. Obviously, he's the ambassador to Israel. He knows exactly what's going on there. Why are you saying that? They're going to have to crush speech. They literally are going to have to crush speech in order for the genocide to happen. And by the way, that's happened in the past. Don't forget when the journalists first came for me last year and they tried to dress it up as Candace Owens is defending Joseph Mengele and she's a Holocaust denier. The reality was I was showing clips because I was shocked to learn that we executed a genocide against Germans, right? After World War II, during a time of peace, made them march, we're murdering them, we're taking their belongings. During a time of peace, this is what the Allies did to the Germans. You want to know why it took us forever to learn about that in America? And you want to know why they freaked out when I presented that to my audiences? Because they passed speech laws following World War II. I'll ask you guys a question. Why would you need to pass speech laws if you're telling the truth? Serious question. If you are on the side of telling the truth.
And listen, she brings up a good point. I can't deny that. And I'm going to go ahead and stop it here. You guys can check out the rest. But I want to say this. When Trump, remember during the debate, Trump and Biden, the first one, he had said, oh, you're like a Palestinian, a very bad Palestinian. he's for Palestine. And then he also said if he was in charge, Gaza would be obliterated. And I'm using probably the wrong word, but basically Gaza would be no more. Like, Trump has always warned you who he was for. So Candace trying to play this game like, what's going on? I'm so surprised. And I also have to call out those third party voters, those pro Palestine people that thought it would be better under Trump. No, it's not. It's not. It's easier to work from within the house than from outside, because you can't be talking about something that you're not even part of. You can't even get in. So again, people make choices, and these are the choices they make. And I don't feel bad for Candace. You get what you get, and let you listen. Candace Owens, her own husband won't come out and defend her. What do I look like defending her? Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. We out, y'all. Deuces, everybody.